Good morning, students. Today we will study refraction by spherical lenses. You are already familiar with what refraction is. Today we will study how refraction takes place by spherical lenses. But what lenses are? Lens, it is a transparent material bounded by two surfaces, out of which one or both are spherical. If you remember, students, that during the formation of mirrors, I told you that a mirror consists of a transparent hollow glass sphere cut in a way such that you get this kind of a structure where you can polish this side. If you polish this side with a opaque material, then this side becomes concave, and if you polish this side, then this side comes out to be convex mirror, isn't? But now for the case of lenses, it is different. For lenses, we need to have two solid glass sphere. Now since I am showing it on the piece of paper, so I am showing the two solid glass sphere in the form of these two circles, this purple circle and the blue circle. These two solid glass spheres, out of which when we give a transverse cut, we get two solid pieces, this and this. Now we join these two solid pieces with the help of a optical adhesive called Canada balsam. Canada balsam is a transparent optical adhesive whose refractive index is nearly same as that of glass. To understand the formation of a lens, there is an alternate way, but before that I want to draw your attention to these two basic points. If you all remember that if we consider a glass prism and a light passes parallel to the base of the prism, then it bends towards the base. After refraction, this parallel beam of light bends towards the base of the glass prism. This is what I have written. When a light ray falls parallel to the base of the prism, it bends towards the base. This is the first point that you have to remember. Second important point, when light travels along the normal at interface, here I have taken rectangular glass slab and here we have air. So when the refraction, if you send a light, make a light to fall on the glass slab normal to the surface, then it passes as it is and no refraction is observed, that is, no bending is observed. So you have to keep these 2 points in mind, and now we can quickly move to the alternate way of learning how the lenses are formed and how its working takes place. Formation of lenses and its working. Students, as I told you that if we take a triangular glass prism and allow a parallel beam of light to pass parallel to the base of the prism, then bending of light takes place towards the base. So this is a parallel beam of light and refraction will happen in this way. Similarly, if we take another glass prism and place it in the inverted position. Now see, when we send a parallel beam of light to the base of the prism, then the bending will happen in this way. So these two light rays after refraction meet at this point. Now remember, in case there is a transparent rectangular glass slab and you allow a light to pass perpendicular, see, you can see this, the light is perpendicular to the surface, then no refraction will happen and the light will pass straight away. So with these two simple rules, 1 and 2, I have designed this shape, right? So now you can see, if I remove this, you can see that now I am allowing a parallel beam of light, and after refraction these rays converge at this point, and I am naming this point as F, right? So now if I remove these shapes, we get such kind of shape. Now you can get an idea If I make, now I can recarve it in this way. So now you can see we are getting a shape of a lens, isn't it or not? So you can see this here. A single glass piece molded in similar fashion as shown above constitute a convex lens or a converging lens. Why I called here it as converging lens? Because the rays were getting converged to this point F, right? Now you see here, since we have got this shape I am talking about, this shape. Since we have got this shape, now we can imagine that this shape is a part of sphere 1 and sphere 2 having radius of curvature C1 and C2 respectively. Now you can see we have two principal foci F1 and F2. The situation very much different from that of mirror. In case of mirror, since there was involvement of one single sphere, so we had one principal focus. But in case of lenses, there is an involvement of two spheres, so we have two principal foci. Principal foci is the plural of focus. Okay. So here there is another point to mark. The midpoint of F1 and F2 is called optical center and it is denoted by O. So optical center is the geometrical center of the lens. This is the midpoint of the lens. F1 and F2 are the principal foci as I told you earlier. Now the thickness of the lens, this portion is called aperture of the lens. I will show it on the figure. This portion is called as the aperture of the lens. The thickness of the lens is called aperture of the lens. Students, note that during the entire discussion we will be talking about only thin lenses. Thin lenses are the lenses which have thickness, which has aperture very much less than that of radius of curvature. Now you might be thinking that for convex lens I have positioned the prism in this way and a rectangular glass slab in this way. But how about concave lens? So that is also very easy and interesting to note. For concave lens, we place prism in an inverted position like this and like this. If you remember that when the ray passes parallel to the base of the prism, it bends towards the base. Here as also, when the ray passes parallel to the base of the prism, then it bends towards the base. So now you can see we can also add two more additional shapes, wedge shapes, or it can be considered as a part of prism only. When the ray passes parallel to the base of the prism, then it diverges out and it bends towards the base. Similarly here, right? Now you see the entire shape altogether. Now we can anytime, you can see this shape, we can anytime imagine it as a concave lens, right? Now this can be considered as of this shape, right? Now you see that the parallel beam of light, when falls on this kind of structure, then it diverges, the rays diverge out, and these diverged rays appear as if it is coming from this point, and hence this point is known as focus of this lens. Just like concave convex lens, again we will have two principal foci here, but here the light is coming from this side and it appears as if it is coming from diverging from this point F. Now you can see here the parallel ray diverge out after refraction and appears that it is coming from this point, and hence it is also known as diverging lens, right? So just like as that of convex mirror, convex lens, we can have here C1, C2 and F1, F2, and we can have one optical center also, this optical center O, right? Now we are familiar with the structure of convex lens and concave lens, I want you to bring your notice that now you can see here. Okay, are you able to see these two figures? Now see, here the focus is lying on the left hand side, right hand side. Okay, and we know that the right hand side is the positive side, and here the principal focus is lying towards the left hand side. So, and we know that this left hand side is the negative side. That is, we are following the same sign convention. Okay, so it is pretty obvious to understand that a convex lens has positive focal length and a concave lens has a negative focal length. Now we will quickly move to the image formation, and for image formation we need to learn just a few simple rules for image formation lenses. Consider this as convex lens. When the ray passes parallel to the principal axis, then after refraction it passes through the principal focus. Similarly, in case of concave, when the ray passes parallel to the principal focus, then it diverges out and appears as if it is coming from this point. Similarly, when the ray passes through the focus after refraction goes parallel to the principal axis. Similarly, in this figure you can understand. Now, important point, when the ray passes through the optical center, this is a very unique point, optical center, then no refraction takes place at all. So, optical center is a very special point in the lens. The sign convention for spherical lenses is similar to that of spherical mirrors, except the point, in case of mirrors we had pole which was considered as origin. Here in case of lenses we are going to have optical center as the origin, and all measurements will be done from there. F is positive for convex lens and it is negative for concave lens. That's it, and rest other rules are similar. I hope the video is clear to you all. Thanks for watching.